Hello, I'm Dr. David Hawkins, and I'm the director of the Marriage Recovery Center just outside of Seattle, Washington, and I want to talk to you again about narcissists. And I am really appreciative of all the feedback that I've gotten and how many of you have contacted me and said, there's a voice of reason out there to talk about this issue. And so many of you have responded favorably to this notion that narcissism is on a spectrum, ranging from mild narcissistic problems to full-fledged narcissistic personality disorder. Not everybody who is narcissistic has NPD. And so too many people are saying, if you've got narcissistic traits, it's all over. You're untreatable. There's just no chance. Walk away. Get rid of the relationship. Well, I want to give you 4 critical things to think about. There's some good news and there's some bad news, but let's approach this issue with reason. So this video is titled Narcissists, an Ego with No Boundaries. Now let's think about that. That's my first point. Narcissists see the world through their own very narrow lens. Now, that's not so crazy or so wild. I see the world through my own narrow lens, and so do you. So let's not jump on the bandwagon of saying, oh no, they're crazy, they're wild, they're destructive. Well, yes, they've got some destructive behaviors, no question about it. It's serious, no question about it. They see the world through their own self-centered lens, and that is the problem. And that's my second point. They use denial, which again, remember, stands for don't even notice I am lying to myself. And they use all different forms of denial. And I get it, that it drives you crazy. It creates a crazy world for you. Denial, and several things I'm going to mention about denial, is also called crazy making. And one aspect of denial is enough to make your head spin. I know I'm with a crazy maker. I know I'm with someone with narcissistic problems. If my head is spinning and I'm just kind of going, and that may be where you're at. We know that narcissists and other people with personality disorders or characterological issues, they rewrite history. They minimize their problems. They blame shift. It's not me, it's you. They project, what's in me, no, is really in you. They sanitize their problems. They make excuses for their problems. They become angry. They become defensive. They use all different kinds of tactics to guard their wounded, fragile ego. So they don't receive critical feedback in a healthy way, and that puts you at a real disadvantage. And I understand that. So I am not minimizing these problems, how to deal with a narcissist. I get it. And I've been treating marriages that have men and sometimes women, but mostly men, with narcissistic issues for many years. I've seen 2,500 couples come through the Marriage Recovery Center for my marriage intensive work, and I've had great success in treating men with narcissistic issues. That brings me to my third point. They can be treated. I know you're getting a lot of feedback that says they can't be treated. It's hopeless. Run, run, run. I want to tell you that's just not a good perspective. If you choose to leave them, okay, choose to leave. But if you want some hope, then keep listening to this video. So they enter the world, or they've cultivated this narrow lens, this self-perception that's got to be guarded, this very fragile ego, this lack of ability to tolerate any form of criticism or whatever. So they remain the way they are, and they resist change. But point number 3, they can be treated. But my favorite bumper sticker, folks, is, quote, it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough, unquote. It takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. That's not miraculous thinking or some incredible insight that I've arrived at. That's the way I function, and probably the way you function too. It takes a breakdown. We have to get to the end of ourselves before we're willing to entertain new information. So it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. Point number 4, my last point, and you may be guessing where I'm going here, is you are an integral part to their change process. Some people are going to say, Dr. Hawkins, you are crazy. You've got to send a man off for his own 2-year individual therapy process. But I'm telling you, he will go off to his individual therapy and he will either hornswoggle that therapist, or that therapist won't be trained and won't know what to look for, or he won't know what he's supposed to be talking about. Remember, denial is lying to oneself. I know you think that he gets up in the morning and plots and plans on how to be a crazy maker. He doesn't. It's part of his character. You know, a fish is the last one to see the water. That's the way it is with him. So you could be an integral part in his change process, but you've got to help him have the breakdown that leads to a breakthrough. In other words, there has to be an intervention. There has to be an intervention. So what that intervention looks like, that's something that's got to be crafted for your situation with your marriage, your relationship. I'm willing to help you do that. I'm willing to help you devise a healthy intervention so that this man will be willing to enter into a change process. I'm telling you, I see miraculous things happen all the time, every week, but it has to happen after there's been a breakdown, after humility has entered into his heart, after there's been an intervention, and you've got to be part of that. So you've got to reach the end of yourself as well. You've got to say to yourself, I can't keep doing what I've always been doing. I'm going to keep getting what I've always gotten, and that's just not good. All right. So narcissists see the world through their own narrow, self-centered lens. 2, they use denial to maintain this narrow self-perception, projecting blame onto you, crazy making, and so on. Number 3, they can be treated, but it takes a breakdown to have a breakthrough. And number 4, you are the one who's going to be integral in that change process. If you want to learn more about that, please check out my website, marriagerecoverycenter.com, and please also send me an email, Dr. David, D-R-D-A-V-I-D, Dr. David at marriagerecoverycenter.com, or call me at 360-490-5446. Let's partner together in a change process that can save your relationship, make you healthy, make him healthy, and you folks have a healthy relationship. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, take care.